Our next speaker is going to be NAIRA. She's a fantastic school student who's been out on all the protests in London and in Dorset. She's also a poet, and she's going to be comparing the next few people. So you're going to do a speech for us.
Before I speak, I just want to say that my dear friend Yafa from Janine West Bank has said thank you to all of you for being here. That for the past 16 months that we've been coming out and protesting for their rights and the rights for her education, for their healthcare, and for the rights to free land and determination. Advocating for women's rights is more than just a slogan. It is not just a way for corporations to promote their new products for consumers. International Women's Day should be the day where we remember those women who have paid the power for the women today and for the women in the future. International Women's Day is standing up against oppression in all its forms. It is recognizing that the fight does not stop until all women receive equal rights and equal opportunities. It means to stand up against the patriarchy, to recognize apartheid, imperialism, and advocate for an end to colonization, to uplift and empower women around the world, to stand up with our sisters and brothers and fight against injustice, to remind those around the world that Palestinian cause is not just an Arab or a Muslim issue. The Palestinian cause is a feminist issue, it's a human rights issue. When your taxpayers' money is funding bombs, the bombs that fall on men, women and children, when this government talks about the solution of women's rights in other parts of the world, and they fund the genocide in Gaza, destroying universities, schools and hospitals, funding the bombing of homes and families displaced in tents, when we have witnessed children as young as 5 have been dying from heart attacks and being shot in the chest, and newborn babies dying from hypothermia, when women have been using tents as scraps for sanitary products, when pregnant women have been going through C-section without painkillers, when women who wondered what they would feed their children gathering animal food to feed their young, we must continue our fight. We must not forget about the indiscriminate slaughter of civilians that are happening not only in Palestine, but Sudan, Congo, and other parts of the world. We must keep showing up in our tens, hundreds and thousands, because in our thousands and our millions, we are all Palestinians. So do not be the person who forgets the past. Do not fall victim to historical amnesia. Educate yourself, educate the young generations about the struggles women have fought, about the battles they continue to fight, about the resilience they have shown. There is a famous saying, one apple fell and the world learned about the meaning of gravity. Millions of bodies have fallen, yet we still don't know the meaning of humanity. Do not be the ignorant individual who sees the atrocities committed by the Western governments and turns a blind eye. We should not be seeing statistics that say 10 children an hour undergo amputations without anesthesia, without painkillers. We should not see these numbers. We should act on them. Thank you. Free Palestine and happy International Women's Day! The child's wish. A child who survived the war was asked, what is it that you wish for? A child who lost his mother, his father, his little sister. A child whose arm lies buried beneath the world, crushed by the weight of the world. A child who smiled in the face of horror, who put his trust in God above all, replied softly without hesitation, I do not want a toy or a home by the sea. I do not dream of golden streets or a life of endless ease. I do not wish for what was never mine. I only ask for a paper and a pen to write a letter to the world, to the leaders, to the people, to those who have watched my suffering, to those who scroll past my people's screams. I want to tell them, do not weep for me, for even in loss I am blessed with what remains. The world must know that we will never leave the soil that holds the loved ones that we have buried, to show them our mothers who hush their babies to sleep with lullabies drowned by sirens and bombs, to show them our mothers who braid their daughters' hair not knowing if tomorrow will still belong to them. To show the world that our women are keepers of life, the ones who carry both love and loss. They too are warriors, not with weapons, but with prayers whispered over cradles, and the precious life they so carefully hold. But if I could have one final wish, it would not be riches, nor revenge, nor escape, only this, to kiss my mother's forehead once more, to hold my little sister's hand, to bid my father farewell. That is all. Thank you.